Welcome, friends. Good evening, and wish you all had a wonderful weekend. And I'm really glad to see you after a few days of rest, as I was not feeling very well because of my tooth. Now I'm back in action, as they say. So, friends, today what we wanted to discuss with you is something that, see, most of you would have already fathomed. You would have understood it, but it has never, come in such a concrete manner that why it happens. Many people. In Bollywood, very arrogantly, they say that, see, boycott Bollywood is a movement because it all started with COVID, you know, and people stopped going to the theater, and that's the reason why people stopped watching Bollywood movies, and now everybody's back in track, as the very dumb Sunil Shetty says. But this is not a fact. I wanted to take you through the stages of what happened, and what was the reason why boycott Bollywood, the movement came through. So first, let me also take some of the cartoons that we toon tales that we had done, where there has been a massive change, with the Bollywoodians, starting with Deepika and Shah Rukh Khan and all these people who suddenly want to be called and slotted in Indian cinema. Till now, they were very proud of their Punjabi roots, and that's why, as you say, in every movie they have a Punjaban, Nach Punjaban, because they think that only Punjabis rule India, and that any songs and any wedding has only Punjabi songs or dances. So before I go ahead, let me just welcome everybody. Welcome India, IndoCat. Welcome Gloria. Always happy to see you. Justice for yes, Sushant Singh Rajput. Welcome Vidya. Welcome Pansy. Welcome Vidya. There are two Vidyas. Thank you, Gloria. Welcome Gayatri and Ruchi and Rajita. Yes, and I'm glad to see you back as well, Maya. Yes, back with Twice the Vigor, to give back to people who try to fool us, and think that, see, we are all some kind of fossilized, animals. Thank you, Martin. Welcome, Chitra, Catherine, MS, Nina. Welcome to all of you. So let me start with this. Remember when it started, people thought it was a mere Twitter hashtag. The much debated boycott Bollywood trend. It proved to be one of the biggest victories that Hindus have, faced, fighting to protect their Sanatana Dharma. Without realizing it, there was a new generation of people started coming up and protecting their own religion on the onslaught of what it was facing from Urdu wood. Gloria says their clothes sweep the floor but fall short of covering their upper portion. Sick fashion. Now, here, see what you see when this woman comes with all her dimples and all that. What she's basically saying is that, see, I'm from India, not Bollywood buggers. Okay, even there, she's insulting the audience. RRR is Indian, not Bollywoodian. Okay, I'm an Indian actress, not a Bollywood model. There, people had, I think, mistaken her for some Brazilian model. We were proud Bollywood after Patan flop, we baptized as Indians. So the baptizing has happened rather soon, as I would say 2.5 years later after Sushant died. Welcome, Lakshmi. Yeah. So it's kind of, what we would say is that it's kind of payback time. Ever since Sushant Singh's death, all the Bollywood fraternity know what triggered it but chose to ignore it. The fact that a top successful actor could be killed so easily, you know, by politicians, Bollywood underworld, police, media, and PR as they join hands to kill him brutally was revealed in great depth, but which they tried to push off as a suicide. And none of these people who laughed and are still walking the path of glory uh, know what has hit them. because people saw through Urdu Wood's agenda and started protesting by stopping to watch their movies. So this has happened very, very clearly. So here again, I come back to the fact that, see, you see this very clearly in the language of the arrogant Punjabis. In everything, if you look at Karan Johar's movies, he would say, he would put this song, Nach Punjaban, Nach Punjaban. Who is this Nach Punjaban? Punjab is just a small state in India, which we respect. But you can't say it's a face of India. But back then, you tried to push the Punjabi wedding in film sequences as if no other customs or culture mattered or happened. You tried to push Punjabi language as if that was the Indian language. And as I said, so suddenly Deepika shows her cute dimples and calls it an Indian film. She laughs and giggles like she directed the film, And then Alia Bhattu he was ignored, like a mouse in a hole. Decides to get dad to rig the Z Award, Z Awards night. So what if RR did not recognize her minuscule role in RRR? She will give her twist to it. So she got awards for all her super flops, from Brahmastra to Gangubai, and finally she danced to RRR as Rajmouli chose to ignore her presence after the super duper song won at the Oscars. This, without us realizing it, became sweet revenge for us, because this good for nothing actress and her father, the father who was instrumental in whatever happened to Sushant Singh when he died, the man who was advising Ria what to do, the man who was advising Jia Khan's mother, at her funeral, that, see, don't cry too much because you will be the next, meaning you will be dead. So it was sweet revenge for the Hindus who boycotted Bollywood, because we did not want to watch all these losers. So she had a list of flops when you talk about the sweet revenge that she faced. Then we heard that Taliwali Mami shouting that the movie that won awards, you know, came from Satyajit Ray's legacy. I don't know from where she pulled that one. And since she is Bengali, I guess she claims credit for RRR's success. As the saying goes, success has 100 fathers, failure has none. Now, RRR did not prove to be a success because of Rajmouli's and the two other superstars, action, direction, and production. It all happened because of Satyajit Ray, who brought out Indian cinema. And at that time, I'm very clear about what they said. It was Bengali films that ruled the roost at that time. Mrinal Sen, Satyajit Ray, all the good directors came from there. We cannot deny that. But why is Madam Taliwali Mami suddenly getting upset that this movie is not called an Indian film? It is because, friends, we know it very well. Her son has absolutely no films. Her daughter-in-law has no films. Her daughter is facing an unsuccessful marriage and a divorce. Her granddaughter has also failed to get an entry into films and whatever YouTube stuff she was doing. And of course, Lambuji is walking around with her thali, trying to get some movies. So this is you would say this is the state of Bollywood movies and the Bollywood characters. Now, we look at a constipated Sunil Shetty, who has come out with some vague movie recently, thanks to the cabal for obeying the orders. Now, why you would ask me why? What orders did he take? Well, he took a cricketer into his family for future gains, because IPL and Bollywood are brothers and sisters. And he said that Narendra Modi and Yogi have listened to him and put a stop to boycott Bollywood. As he speaks, you can see here that his IQ is nil, he is dumb. If he expected his daughter to become a leading actress in Bollywood, that itself shows how low his IQ is. Because, see, with her kind of looks and her kind of action, you know, I don't think any director would look her way at all. Now, this came as another gem from this Dumbo actor. So, what do they think is what I'm asking, you viewers. Okay, what do they think if Hindus were still truly angry at what is happening and is still happening in Bollywood? Are they not justified? You constantly think of ways to degrade Hindus and glorify Islam and make heroes of the ugly Islamic invaders who came and hacked Indians to pieces and converted them. And you tell us to pay our hard-earned money to watch your films. If even a stupid plagiarized movie like Pathan made a hero of a Pakistani against Indians and showed a Hindu woman wearing near to nothing and converting with an old granddad like Pathan. In fact, this very Pathan acted in movies like, V Zada. We just go to that. Yes, V Zara. You know, I don't know how many of you would have remembered that movie. In that, Shah Rukh Khan played an Air Force officer who became so desperately mad in love that he sacrificed his duty towards his country and responsibilities towards his parents for a Pakistani girl he had met just a few days ago. In another movie of his, Main Hoon Na, extremely popular according to that time because our social media wasn't that active. This happened in 2004. An ex-army officer, a Hindu named Raghav, another name of Bhagwan Ram, was presented as the villain, while Pakistanis were showed with great qualities, human qualities, who wanted peace with India. We all know how reality is entirely different. Now, within 2 years of the 2008 Mumbai attacks by Islamist jihadis, Bollywood released My Name is Khan and Kurban. In both these films, Muslims were projected as victims of hate and bigotry. Islamic terrorist was accorded a soft justification. The promotion of love jihad through both these films started from then. So you realize how cantankerous they are in doing that. Now, another Dara Hua insan who is, who has been directly affected because of boycott Bollywood is none other than, the man who calls himself everybody's bhaijan. And now because of his own infamous actions, he hides behind Pooja Hegde's skirts. I just saw a few songs of his movie, which is coming, the latest movie, and in that the poor old man can't dance. His knees give way. So he has told the choreographer, you please, just redesign the dances so that I just need to lift a toe or a finger because I can't do more than that. I'm that old. Well, that's what he has done. And then, of course, the effects and all that makes him a 20-year-old. Now, Bhaijan did the same thing with all the films as did Midget Khan. And of course, our own gummy man or the Canadian cook. Now, into this scenario comes Shabana Ami. Okay. Now she also Now, she also says that, see, I really hope the success of Pathan will cancel this boycott culture, you know. So she's hoping that she and her son and her husband and her stepson and her stepdaughter, all of them will get movies as they did before, and then they can go into their Porsches and Mercedes and Lamborghinis. There was a time, Amiji, when Muslims like Yusuf Khan became Dilip Kumar. And Mahjabeen Banu became Meena Kumari, and Mumtaz, Jean Delavi, became Madhubala. To survive in a predominantly Hindu audience, they needed acceptance from them. So they hid their Muslim names. Then came her own husband, a much married man, Javed, and his combo. It reminds me of the McDonald combo, Salim Javed, Khalid Muhammad, and Kader Khan, who were paid to push Urdu language, their kind of stories, and from then started the degradation of Hindus, where most Hindus were servants like Ramu Kaka. But things changed pretty fast. You remember Ramu Kaka, the famous Ramu Kaka? Yeah. So okay, let me just take a few comments because that what you're also saying is very interesting. Surprisingly, we could not understand the agenda earlier. Bollywood before Sushant and Bollywood after Sushant. Where to, where it's reached. The industry has collapsed, says Gloria. Absolutely. Boycott Jawan will start soon. SRK and team, be ready. This is SRK home production. After this flop, he will have to quit Bollywood. Aapke muh mein ghee shakkar, Chitra. RRR actors selling fruity along with murderer Bhatt's daughter. Why these actors sell harmful products like cold drinks, tobacco, alcohol, and idiots blindly follow these druggies. See, here again, Tuhina, as I told you before, the complete advertising field is controlled by these cabal, people like Cornerstone. So, and Kwan. So, when they control it, they will only give it to these dimbits. Bollywood taking South support to keep them active, and South is also supporting in all possible ways. Thank you, Chitra, for alerting us. Yes. नूतन वर्ष की हार्दिक शुभकामनाएं. Thank you, Vidya. Good evening, Miora. Yeah, Taliwali Mami's cartoon is hilarious because she, as a person, is absolutely repulsive. Now, these Bollywood stars are regrouping and are in a race to act in Netflix and Disney. Kejo and Amir Khan, along with Kareena, are all seen in Netflix networking party. Shows boycott is working. Now, here, Chitra, let me get one thing straight. Even these Oscar awards was only to push Netflix, which is doing very badly all over the world. They were almost on the stage of closing, and now they've set their sights on India, which is the biggest market, and that's why they're pushing the Elephant Whisperer and RRR and all that, because they want Netflix to become a success. And that's why you would remember some of the Hollywood actors mentioned Netflix a couple of times during the Oscars. What great cartoons you're broadcasting, Minaji. Must very few such cartoons impress today against Bollywood. May Ishwara bless you with success and protect you and your family. Thank you so much for your kind words, Vidya. Lakshmi, same here, Gayatri. If any actor from these Bollywood acts in Kannada, Telugu, or Tamil, or any other regional, we will boycott that film. Now, Mamta says, ma'am, something out of today's topic. I hope you don't mind. How do I contact Dr. Ganesh Bokre? Could you please provide me his mobile number? He will be coming in our show this week, and you can speak to him directly, Mamta, because I am not sure whether he entertains everybody. So he has also requested me to be careful while giving out numbers. Bollywood will thrive only if people watch them. Hope everyone is awakened and see Gutterwood inside out in order to clean the filth. Maximum boycott is the need of the hour. Grateful to the ones who do. Ma'am, not only is wishing, I wish complete destruction of this Gutterwood. The way they destroyed innocent Sushant, I'm waiting for the same. Very disappointed by Modi ji also. Now, Anuradha says DP lost her popularity the day the truth about her was out from drugs. Absolutely, Anuradha. Yes. So then, okay, now let's go back to what after Salim Javed, came into the scene. What it was like. So what happened was, they this as I said, Salim Javed combo was like the McDonald combo, and then of course Kader Khan's dialogues and all came, which added further to further they started degrading the Hindus, and but things changed drastically when Sushant Singh died. And Sushant Singh's Brahmastra not only struck at the heart of Pathan and the Bhaijan, and of course Majid Khan and the Islamic Cabal knew they had stretched their limits when they put a semi-nude Deepika crawling all over a Pathan in an itsy bitsy bikini. Glorification of a Hindu prostitute from the director who specializes in prostitution. We're talking about Sanjay Leela Bansali in Gangubhai Kathiawadi, further degraded the Hindu woman as if she had invented the red light area in India herself. It flopped massively, with Alia throwing her baby tantrum and her baby bump away in sheer anger. As if this was not enough insult for Alia Bhatt and her papa, a movie called Brahmastra came after a hiatus and disappeared even before it appeared, which would explain why the director had such a sourpuss face at the Z Awards. He knew the glory of accepting rigged awards. And Pathan, with a granddad like hero with zero abs and plagiarized content and songs, is made to be the best friend who is brave and strong. And of course, Bollywood had their own take on Hindu heroes who hated going to temples. Now, this was something else they specialized, where the Hindu hero would go to a temple, and abuse the deity with so much passion, and say that they will never go to a temple, they will not do this, blah, 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 blah. This is how Lambuji made his money by acting in movies that abused his own gods, his own religion. And now his Thaliwali Mami is screeching, we are Indians and we need to have our own status. Why did you not shout this, madam, when your husband was floating in air with money, women, and luxuries? You did not do that because at that time you were enjoying all the luxuries that came with Urdu wood money. And then came Kashmir Files, which was not okay. But in 2008, Firak, which was based on the 2002 Gujarat riots, which showcased Muslims as absolute hapless and tormented the demography in Bharat, was fine. So, till today, no movies have been made to show the terrible Godhra riots. Now, when a director, Ali Akbar, who has, done Ghar Wapasi, had become a Hindu, produced a film on Mopla riots, all sorts of barriers were put on him from censors, not only in the state, but also in the center, which means, some minister would also be involved in that. And you know who the person in the censorship board is, very close to these people. Now, the kind of hatred Sunil Shetty you have given to Hindus is shocking. And you ask Yogi ji and Modi ji to remove boycott Bollywood, as you did the movie Border in some Pichle Janam. With the coming of intellectuals on social media from 2010 onwards, the industry has been exposed. Their hatred for Hindu culture and everything that Hindus do, right from their festivals, whether it's Karwa Chauth or, anything that Hindus did, Kanyadan, anything. They abused Hindus as Hindutva terrorists. This was encouraged by the UPA government at that time. And we were called people who drank cow urine. And they used to make comments on our deities and make fun of them and shame the Hindus for celebrating festivals. Every time our festivals came, their barriers would come, and Kareena Kapoor with her, a huge Botox lips would say that, see, please do not waste water, please do not light lamps, please do not burn crackers, and blah, 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 right? So when Christmas comes or when your weddings come, you can light fireworks, and you can, during these movie scenes where you saw, Deepika being, dipped in water, all that wastage of water is okay. So, double standards for Hindus, and everything else is okay with you. So, if you look at it, they have shamed Hindus in every way, again and again. If nothing, even the negative characters in these movies were given Hindu names, and facts were changed, to give Urdu names to the heroes. Can you imagine? And from 2010, the industry had barred its anti Hindu and anti Bharat facts. With the introduction of social media, all this started coming out into the front. Now, see, one thing you've got to realize, friends, is that it Bollywood was infested with Hindu-hating elements, that mocked our society and tried to morally, degenerate it. But now, a whole generation of Hindus have woken up from their prolonged sleep and decided not to take these insults anymore. Now, it's like, see, what happens is you take so much until, you know, the time to burst comes. So now Bollywood is just like, as you would say, the Titanic. It has been hit by a huge ice boulder and it's sinking so fast that everybody is holding on to whatever, itsy bitsy bikini or whatever they have are wearing. So this is a terrifying prospect for, Bollywood actors. If you had sowed good seeds, now I'm talking to the producers, the directors, the people who are saying, why us? What happened? You know, like Sunil Shetty crying there in front of Yogi Ji. If you had sowed seeds, good seeds, you would have reaped the harvest and celebrated with the public. This, plus the below standard content that you've created and below zero acting skills of Bollywood, brothers and sisters, added fuel to the fire. And yes, it had to sink like the Titanic. How many times you have mocked our gods? The midget Khan, who can't even stand on his, on his own height, made a mockery of Lord Shiva. He's the all-pervasive God for Hindus, who has existed all over the world. Because every time, an excavation is done, lingas are found all over, whether it's Vietnam or Malaysia, Indonesia. How come? And then in Ram Leela, you made fun of Lord Rama. Are our gods therefore free for your mocking? So, see, there are bigger forces that have come into action. See, when you say, uh, what is the reason? You keep coming to the reason, but you never admit it. The reason is none other than Sushant Singh Rajput. If you ask me why I spoke about this today, it is because of the injustice that has been done to such a brilliant actor who bore no grudge towards anybody. Okay. My request to all those who are giving up on the SSR cause, I don't blame you. You have fallen into the trap that Urdu Wood has laid for you. Let us not forget that we have fought and fought well for the past 2.5 years. At some time, we're human, we feel anxious, we feel devalued and stressed. But still remember, we must fight back. This fight is for our own self existence. Together, everyone achieves more. So stay united and fight back until we win. If this single man army could fight a war against these lecherous, sleazy, murderous cabal, can't we do the fight for him? Friends, it is coming to a conclusion, and I'm sure you need to be a part of it. So please do not give up, because this is all that Sushant has requested from you before he died. And if you see in everything, his spirit comes back to us. What is happening to this Titanic like, ship that's sinking? It's an effect of SSR. Don't forget that. And don't allow any actor or producer or anybody to say that boycott Bollywood started because of COVID. It did not. It is SSR spirit that is with us. Even if you don't know, perhaps he's standing behind you. As you see behind me, I have Lord Shiva. He was a Lord Shiva Bhakt. Do you think that, see, Lord Shiva would have sent me as a messenger to fight on his behalf, to gather an army? Do you think all of you who are listening are not, the warriors of Lord Shiva fighting for him? So why do you, why are you so weak that you want to give up? If you look at this, if you look at YouTube, you'll find that very few people are left in this fight to get justice for SSR because it's easy to get out. Some have been paid, some have gone on their own. But it is the few people who stand who are the bravest. And you're all standing. And it's so important for us. So this whole thing, see, I brought to you the complete reason why boycott Bollywood has become such a huge success, and why Hindus all over the world are fighting to teach Bollywood a lesson. It is because SSR has willed it to be. It is SSR spirit that talks through you. It is SSR spirit that makes you, stops you from going into a theater that shows movies in which these idiots act. They say crows. Every day you have some stupid man, some trader or some analyst saying that Pathan is 1,000 crores. Poor people, they have no choice because if they don't do it, the superstar will, boycott them. And the superstar, if you look at him, he looks so as though he's he looks haunted. I saw him at this one of the videos in which Ananya's cousin is getting married. He was there with his wife and with his baby. His assistant, um, the other corrupt lady. And you should have seen his face. If you think Salman Khan is Dara Hua Insan, SRK is even more Dara Hua. Let me just take a few comments. In Ajanta caves, the paintings are of natural materials, as lime water, turmeric, and many leaves and flowers used as colors. But we get tired of talking of evil characters. Thank you, Minaji, for spreading the positive light once again. We will continue. Thank you for that. Bollywood's agenda promote anti-Hindu, anti-India B1 forces, destroy Hindu family values, mock Hindu gods and goddesses, Islamification of India. Thank you, Minaji, for being consistent in the fight for justice for our sweet and beloved Sushant. This will not stop, Gloria. We will only stop the day we get justice. And that day we will all celebrate. We are together as one. Somnath says, as Pandavas became fierce after Abhimanyu's murder, we the people became fierce for our Abhimanyu, that is Sushant Singh Rajput. Well said. By the way, you still don't understand the boycott movement. It's against non-value and started because of injustice made to Sushant and protect Hindu tradition and culture. I admire, yes, Amira, there are people who make money on that. Echo says, Minaji, come to think of whatever you say. Oh my gosh, Khalistani Wood is completely against Sanatana Dharma. They are ISI puppets. Echo. For past many years, they've scripting their movies, defaming, mocking, disrespect. See, when you become puppets of Pakistani ISI, that is the language you will speak. Before Mughals invasion, there were many Hindu temples as Khajuraho, Padmanabha Swami, Ajanta, Ellora, and many caves are examples of what. Just see the paintings. Welcome, happy Ugadi, Ashok. Well said, Bollywood has been hit with an iceberg with the boycott Bollywood movement and is sinking fast. Hindu culture places great emphasis on family and community values, and many festivals and celebrations are centered around the family and community. Wishing everybody a happy Ugadi, beginning of a new era. This is also called as Gudi Padwa in in Maharashtra. Dhanashri. Actually, Hindu ritual, rites, culture, and festivals are criticized even in history school syllables. Syllabus. It is written in our history books that Mughals gave us art and architecture. Pathan main purpose was to glorify Pakistan and humiliate Hindus and India apart from money laundering, says Chitra. 2004 to 14 was infested with anti-Hindu sentiments. Gayatri, we can see the fear in them. Absolutely. Exactly, Minaji. Hope and pray an update from CBI by June this year. Only your channel, SSR Warriors, talking about justice for SSR. Twitter is still very active for SSR. I did read a tweet saying that CBI has acknowledged a letter from one of the public and said that they are still on the case. It will be soon revealed. Meenaji, your talks have made me realize the disparity that existed between the two communities and how the tables have turned in today's era. Justice for SSR. If they are spending so much just to show huge box office figures like Patan, how do you think they'll manage in future releases as boycott continues? I'm your supporter from New York. Thank you so much, Enes. These are things we will soon discover. Sushant is omnipotent, omniscient. If it wasn't for Sushant's soul, we wouldn't be here. He is the force behind us. I feel his presence whenever I pray. Now, here another thing, friends, I'd like to say is that, in every way, just taking you through the Z Awards, which I want you to see, because it is a humiliation of the greatest sort. Now, I don't know the name of this director of Brahmastra. I think it's Ayan. Okay. Now, Ayan, just watch his face. He looks absolutely haunted. Every time his name is announced, there are quite a few, half a dozen awards been given to him for bullshit. Okay. Every time he goes to take the award, just see the expression before he gets it. Because he himself cannot believe it. This is the height, Z, I have written to them, of rigged awards. Z has this very famous reputation. Whenever they are paid, they will show you anything. You remember the famous interview that Riya Chakravarti showed to Sudhir Chaudhary in two parts, where Sushant was drugged by Riya. And he was talking like a retarded man. And Riya was obviously having a lot of fun, making fun of him, saying my babu or something. You know. So that is the reputation that Z has. Same way, just like other media like India Today and Aaj Tak. They did an interview with Riya exactly after the attack started on this woman. Everybody who has very closely followed Sushant Singh Rajput's death knows who are the people who played a main role in his death. Now, you will say, many of you have told me, and I've listened to it time and again, that Riya is enjoying a normal life, going for vegetables and eating stuff and blah, blah, blah. But, friends, did she get even one film? Did she get even one modeling assignment? No. After Jia Khan died, after that mother, Rabia Khan, has undergone pain, she's fought tooth and nail, did Suraj Pancholi get any film? Did he get any ad? Anything? Other than what Bhaijan has given him? No. Why? That is called karma. What you sow, you reap. Now, Riya can stand on her head, but she will not get a film. That is for sure. Because even Bollywood has realized that every time her face is shown in a poster, people boycott it even before the film is announced. So it is quite an irony what Sushant has done to all these people. Actually, Ria blackmailed Sushant by showing these videos of Sushant as he was drugged by Ria. Yes, Bollywood has totally gone mad. Yes, Suruchi. So here I would like to say, see, if you look at anybody, okay, now see, for example, when Vijay Deverakonda's film, you know, with Ananya was happening, Ananya tried everything to flirt with him. Perhaps, they were, maybe they were partners. They were, in today's age, sleeping together is not is just ordinary, just like kissing. Maybe everything would have happened. Look at how fast she has forgotten him after the film. Because I was just watching her at dancing at her cousin's wedding. She's forgotten everything. Okay. She reminds me of a very fickle, butterfly who, just flies around with not much thought in her mind. But this is the case of every Nepo kid. They don't, have anything strong. So whatever their parents tell them, okay, you run after Vijay now. Okay, now you run after South Indian actors. You run after this latest hero in Hindi. They will do that because the actors themselves, Bollywood actors themselves, are not so intelligent. So they cannot give the right advice. Now, I see Ria is always hanging around with Farhan Akhtar's wife and her sister Anusha. I did always wonder why Anusha hangs around with her, but then I realize the connection now. You remember, see, when Sridevi complained that she had seen some terrorists at Shabana Azmi's party. Shabana Azmi, Javed Akhtar, Farhan Akhtar, and his wife, they are all obviously paid to have this anti Hindu rant. So they are anti Indians. They cannot play very far because see, NI is acting on every terrorist in India. Modi ji is going with an iron fist behind all these terrorists. So all this money that they've been getting so very cozily, you know, from under the table has stopped. So what they do is now, if you see glimpses of Akshay Kumar's show in USA, half of which was cancelled. Now see, when you have one of those cheap nightclub clubs in USA or in Europe, what do you have? Half naked women pole dancing, right? Because that's what you see in Hollywood movies. Now, this is the same thing that happened. The ringleader is Gummy Man or Canadian Butler. Now, all these girls, whether it is Nora Fateh Ali or it is item girls like Mauni and what is the other girl's name? The tall girl. All these girls come in clothes that are there but not there, which means they expose every part of their body. And Nora Fatehi does dances that are cheaper than the dances in the most sleaziest clubs in Europe. Then you come with Mauni. Mauni is now fast into copying Kareena Kapoor's moves. I just saw an item number of hers in YouTube where she has made her breasts even bigger. Yes, it has to be obviously silicone, and it is there on your face because she hardly wears anything, and all her action is exactly that of Kareena Kapoor. So this lady doesn't know whether she should act like Kareena Kapoor or just be herself. But these are the items picked by Akshay Kumar on this trip to USA. And half of the time, he is seen slapping their butts, as in pornographic movies. Okay. Now, if you want to see sex, people can go straight away to these porn hubs and see them. They don't need to see a fossilized Akshay Kumar, you know, have or show as if he's having sex with these item girls. So I don't know who the audience in USA would have been who were watching this sleaze, but shame on them. After all that's happened, if they don't understand what's happening in Bollywood, shame on them, is all I can say. Because they have reduced our Indian image of movies to the dust, you know. So let me just take a few comments. Ria's role is not to succeed in being an actress. Her role is different, or it was. She was infiltrated with the express goal to drive Sushant crazy to make him weak and easy target. Yes, she was a honey trap, Mira well said. But her part of the agreement was that she would get roles as an actress. Okay, but that didn't happen. Every time she was given a role, like in Chehre, she was given a mini role, like Alia's in RRR, because people didn't want to see her. Dhanashri says, Ananya is good for nothing. Not just look at her face. I really think she is high on substance. Divided streets. They arrested Khalistani guys in UK, in England for destroying the Indian flag. Akshay is pimping all these actresses. Minaji, D. Gangwood is against Sanatana Dharma. No matter what they say, they're clueless. Now on making movies as all their lives they've copy pasted from other industry, all way mocked our Dharma. Dhanashri. Few days back, there was a video of Bauni walking in a street with bikini. The way she was walking, it was totally looking indecent. See, for example, here, Dhanashri, let me get one thing very clear. See, she's done something to her figure. Because if you look at a few years back, she looks like an ugly duckling. There's someone who, from the rustic rural, side who doesn't know anything. Okay. Now she has added silicone to her breasts. Okay. Removed a rib or two, to make her waist small. So, in other words, she's made herself to look like a Barbie figure. And then she got herself married to some fool, who thought he was marrying the most beautiful woman. Of course, after marriage, he would have understood exactly what soup he was in and how closely connected they are to the cabal. Now, if you see her walking like this, understand what they are. And that is what they've been taken. They've been taken to USA just for this. Local prostitutes in USA are more beautiful than these Bollywood stars with all the makeup and transplants. To be an actress, you need talent. What Ria has is only cheap cleverness. Absolutely. So here again, let me go reiterate, friends. Don't think Sushant's case is dead. Sushant is with us, breathing with us. Every day he's with us. He could not have built such a big army and created this boycott Bollywood if he was not with us. As you all believe in Sanatana Dharma, people do not die, their souls still live. And Sushant is an example of that. And Sushant is very clearly given the message that, friends, till we sort this whole issue, do not abandon me. All of you have been very successful, and that is why their movies are bombed in the theaters. Vidya. Moni Roy was playing Parvati in Mahadev serial ago. There she looked quite pretty. Yes, she has been changing herself in stages, Vidya. She really looks like a devil now. Absolutely. Yeah. So, with this, friends, I end this show. So, my request to all of you again is that if you like the show, please hit the like button because we do a lot of work to bring you this research and also the fact that, see, all these things help you to analyze what the Bollywood industry is trying to do to you and what you should not fall for. So, if you do put a like, it helps our channel grow. And this is the only thing we request of you. Okay. So, good night and Jai Hind.